My beloved child, only 2 seconds remained, not on an ordinary clock, but in the silent space between the life you have known and the life now calling your name. The first second carried every delay, every unanswered question, and every night you wondered whether your prayers had been forgotten. The second carried a decision that could no longer be postponed. Then you opened this message, and something shifted. Pause here. Don't skip. Archangel Michael has stepped forward in this sacred story with a revelation connected to your destiny, and what he reveals will explain why the road behind you suddenly became so difficult. You thought you were being held back, but you were being separated from a path that could not carry the future prepared for you. Certain doors became silent because your purpose had already outgrown them. Certain people became distant because they were connected to an older version of you. Even the opportunities that vanished were not always losses, some were hidden redirections. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Archangel Michael's warning is not that your future is disappearing. It is that you must stop searching for your destiny in places heaven has already asked you to leave. The moment you opened this, the waiting season began to release its hold. Your destiny moved forward. Not because every answer appeared instantly, but because you finally reached the moment when the truth could find you. And here is the first shocking revelation: the breakthrough you have been expecting will not arrive wearing the face you imagined. It will enter quietly, perhaps through one conversation, one unexpected invitation, one renewed idea, or one name returning to your attention. At first, it may appear too small to change anything. But Archangel Michael says, look again. What seems small is carrying the beginning of something once in a lifetime. Don't skip now. The detail you almost overlook may become the doorway that changes your direction completely. Something extraordinary has already begun moving beyond what your eyes can measure. A decision involving you is taking shape, and your name has entered a space you have never physically entered. Someone is remembering your ability. Someone is reconsidering what they once assumed about you. A closed opportunity is being viewed from a different angle, and a connection you believed had ended may still have one honest chapter left to reveal. Yet Archangel Michael warns you not to run backwards simply because something familiar calls your name. Familiarity is not always destiny. Sometimes the past returns only to show you how much you have changed. Stay with this message, because the distinction about to be revealed is powerful. What belongs to your future will bring clarity, not endless confusion, steadiness, not constant uncertainty, room to become yourself, not pressure to remain who you were. The sign will not be noise. It will be peace strong enough to survive doubt. For a long time, you believed your destiny would move only after someone apologized, selected you, understood you, or gave you permission. But the second revelation is this: your destiny was never waiting for another person's approval. It was waiting for your agreement. It was waiting for you to stop calling yourself unready. It was waiting for you to recognize that the closed chapter was not your identity. Something huge is waiting for you, but you must not carry yesterday's verdict into tomorrow's doorway. Don't skip. Archangel Michael now points toward the very thing that tried to make you feel delayed and says, this did not remove your future. It revealed your strength. Every moment in which you had to begin again placed something unshakable inside you. Every unanswered question trained your discernment. Every season that looked empty taught you to recognize what is real when it finally arrives. That is why the countdown reached its final 2 seconds. 1 second represented the person you were before the lesson. The other represented the person you became because you continued. When you opened this message, those two versions of you stood face to face. And the stronger one stepped forward. Now the atmosphere of this story changes, because the final revelation of this moment is the one you were meant to hear. Stay till the end. Your next chapter is not being built from what you lost, it is being built from what you discovered within yourself. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of the road ahead, not asking you to predict every step, but asking you to recognize the first one. Within the coming days, you may feel drawn to complete something you abandoned, answer something you delayed, or choose a direction that once felt too bold. Pay attention to that quiet movement. It may be the first evidence that your destiny is no longer standing still. But there is another surprise: the person who benefits most from your next decision may not be you alone. Your courage will create a path for someone who has been watching how you rise. Your voice will reach someone who believed their own chance had passed. Your decision to move forward will become proof that a delayed beginning can still lead to a beautiful arrival. This is why you were brought to these words at the exact moment when doubt was trying to become your conclusion. Archangel Michael's warning is clear: do not confuse silence with abandonment, and do not mistake preparation for rejection. What was happening unseen was not empty. Pieces were being repositioned. Motives were being revealed. False paths were losing their power. Your heart was learning the difference between what merely attracts you and what truly aligns with you. Don't skip the truth hidden inside this moment. You are closer to a turning point than your circumstances suggest. The old clock has stopped. The countdown is over. Your destiny has moved forward, and now your choices must move with it. Something huge is waiting for you. Not as a promise of effortless perfection, but as an invitation into courage, clarity, and a future that finally reflects the person you have become. Yet just before Archangel Michael reveals what has been placed behind the next door, he asks you to notice one unexpected sign, the sign that will prove this message arrived at the beginning of your shift, not at the end. That sign is already approaching, and when you recognize where it appears, everything you thought was delayed will begin to make sense. The sign did not arrive with noise, it entered through a sudden feeling you could not explain. Something inside you became alert, as though your spirit recognized an approaching change before your mind could understand it. Archangel Michael now reveals that this sign may appear through a repeated name, an unexpected message, a forgotten idea returning with unusual strength, or a peaceful certainty that asks you to move differently. Don't skip, because the surprising part is not how the sign appears, but what it confirms. It confirms that a decision made beyond your sight has begun creating movement around you. The silence surrounding one important situation is about to change. What once seemed permanently closed may soon present a new opening, but it will not look exactly as it did before. You are not being returned to the same place, you are being offered a higher view of it. Someone who underestimated your value may finally recognize what your absence revealed. An opportunity that passed you by may return in a form better suited to who you are now. Yet Archangel Michael's message is firm: do not accept something merely because you once desired it. Ask whether it honors the person you have become. The old you might have entered quickly, afraid that another chance would never come. The new you can pause, observe, and choose from clarity. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with understanding that destiny moving forward does not mean chasing every opening. It means recognizing the one doorway that does not require you to abandon your peace. Then comes the revelation nobody around you could have predicted. Your delay protected a gift you were not yet ready to place in the wrong hands. You wondered why progress felt slow while others appeared to move ahead. You saw their visible victories but never saw the hidden cost behind them. Archangel Michael now shows you a different truth. Your path was being strengthened beneath the surface. While nothing seemed to change, your discernment was becoming sharper. Your heart was learning where it could safely belong. Your voice was gaining the strength to speak without trembling. Your future was being separated from choices that looked impressive but carried no lasting fulfillment. Don't skip now, because this is where the meaning of the final 2 seconds becomes clear. The countdown was not announcing that your chance was ending. It was marking the end of your hesitation. The first second closed the chapter in which doubt controlled your decisions. The final second opened the chapter in which courage would answer before fear could pull you backward. By opening this message, you reached the crossing point. Now a once-in-a-lifetime alignment is beginning. What you have learned, what you can offer, and what the next season requires are moving toward the same place. A person you have not yet met may soon recognize something in you that familiar people overlooked. A path you never considered may carry the answer you searched for elsewhere. Something huge is waiting for you, but it may first arrive disguised as a simple choice. That is why Archangel Michael asks you to watch the next invitation carefully. It may seem ordinary, yet it will awaken an extraordinary certainty inside you. Before that invitation appears, one final layer must be uncovered. There is a belief you have carried for too long, the belief that one past disappointment proved what your future would become. It did not. That experience was one chapter, not the final sentence. Archangel Michael stands symbolically between you and that old conclusion, declaring that it cannot accompany you through the next door. Stay till the end, because the next truth changes everything. The future approaching you will require less proving and more receiving. You have spent enough time convincing people to see what was always present. The right connection will not need endless persuasion. The right opportunity will challenge your ability without making you question your worth. The right direction may still require courage, but it will not demand that you become smaller to enter it. Don't skip. Soon, something will happen that seems strangely connected to words you have heard here. You may encounter a familiar symbol in an unfamiliar place. You may hear a sentence that answers a question you kept private. You may feel an unmistakable urge to complete one action you have delayed. When it happens, do not dismiss it merely because it appears simple. That small moment will mark the first visible movement of a much larger shift. Your destiny is already moving forward, but the next stage depends on whether you recognize what is being placed before you. And Archangel Michael has not yet revealed the greatest surprise. The doorway opening ahead is connected to something you believed had been taken away forever. It was not taken. It was being transformed. And when its new form is revealed, you will understand why the old version could never have carried you where you are going. What you believed was gone forever has been waiting in a form you would never have recognized before today. It was not the old opportunity, the old connection, or the old dream exactly as you remembered it. Those versions belonged to a chapter that could no longer contain you. What remained was their hidden purpose. And that purpose has been quietly following you into the future. Archangel Michael now reveals that the disappointment you kept revisiting was never meant to become your permanent ending. It was meant to redirect you toward the deeper promise concealed beneath what you wanted. Don't skip, because this is where the transformation becomes visible. Perhaps you asked for one particular person to understand your heart, but the greater purpose was to lead you toward a connection where understanding would come naturally. Perhaps you wanted one door to open, but the greater purpose was to awaken an ability that could create many doors. Perhaps you prayed for your circumstances to change, while the unseen work began by changing the strength with which you would face them. The answer did not disappear, it matured. It moved beyond the limits of your original request. And now, as your destiny advances, the transformed answer is moving closer. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it carries an unmistakable feeling. You will not need to force it. The right moment will still ask for courage, but it will also bring a quiet recognition, as if some deep part of you has been preparing for it all along. A hidden conversation is also connected to this change. Somewhere beyond your awareness, your name or the value you carry has been discussed in a way that could influence what happens next. Someone may have remembered your kindness, your talent, your reliability, or the way your presence changed a difficult moment. They may not have told you what they noticed, but their memory of you did not fade. Archangel Michael reveals that one sincere impression can travel farther than you imagine. It can reach a room you have never entered and place your name beside an opportunity you have never considered. Don't skip now, because the surprising revelation is that your next opening may come through a person you are not currently watching. You have been looking toward one direction, waiting for movement there, while another path has quietly begun forming behind the scenes. This does not mean you must chase every possibility or treat every coincidence as a command. It means you should remain awake, calm, and willing to notice what carries genuine peace. Destiny does not always announce itself with a grand entrance. Sometimes it begins with a simple question: would you be open to this? Sometimes it arrives through an idea that refuses to leave your thoughts. Sometimes it appears as the courage to say no to what once controlled you. That no can become the beginning of your greatest yes. Something huge is waiting for you, but first you may be asked to release one familiar pattern, the habit of doubting good things merely because they arrive differently from what you expected. Now the final 2 seconds reveal their deepest meaning. They were the narrow space between recognition and response. The message found you at the point where knowing was no longer enough. Your destiny required movement. Archangel Michael places one truth before you. The next chapter cannot be entered through fear disguised as caution. You do not need every detail before taking one honest step. You only need enough clarity to choose what protects your peace, honors your growth, and allows your gifts to breathe. Stay till the end, because the sign you were promised is closer than it appeared. It will connect 3 things at once: something from your past, a decision in your present, and an opportunity tied to your future. When those pieces meet, you will feel the pattern immediately. A memory may return just as a new invitation arrives. A skill you once ignored may become exactly what someone needs. A closed chapter may finally reveal why it ended when it did. Don't skip this truth. The sign will not ask you to become who you used to be. It will show you why every version of your journey was preparing the person you are now. Your destiny has already moved forward, and soon your outer world will begin reflecting the inner shift. Yet one mystery remains. Before the new doorway fully opens, a choice will appear that looks almost identical to something you once wanted. Archangel Michael warns you to look beneath its appearance, because one option will repeat the old cycle while the other will lead toward the future. The difference will be hidden in a single detail. And once that detail is revealed, you will know exactly which path was waiting for you.